Well, we got a game 3 here, so I'm interested to see how this one goes. The winner of this actually going to face off against Excellence up next here, but it's going to be hard. You know, we're definitely seeing, you know, MCDZ clearly they have the individual skill, need to work on a lot of things, and so they're going to probably struggle a little bit more. Whereas Excellence, even if they win, you're seeing their role swaps not have the same synergy that we saw during the SEL, right? It's going to take a little bit of time, and it's actually good that I think they lost that first game. It gives them a little bit of a kick to figure out what's going on wrong.
Exactly, but they also have these new players, like we mentioned, these new spots, moving around, working on that synergy. Nice training ground for the first game, but really showed up in the second one. Now it comes down to this, like you mentioned, winner of this goes to face off against Excel, and then the winner of that has a spot in the fall finals.
And, oh, I thought it was the best stat ban. It's actually the raw ban by Excellence this time. This tells me they're once again looking for that Terra first pick and don't want to deal with Mayo's raw like they did in game 1 here. Likely to see MCDZ switch up the ban. I would not give Excellence a Terra here.
You don't want any kind of sustain. Sustain right now is just too good, especially for banning out all these other sustain options. If one team has it and another doesn't, that's already a huge point for the sustain team.
I think it can work out depending on how you deal with it, right? You really need to get characters that are going to have an easy time either stacking up a Divine Rune or a Brawlers. Also, some players do have an Osiris or Serket in their God pool, all very good matchups, and Bacchus and Sobek, obviously those anti-heals for supports.
But have we really seen teams build anti-heal when they're supposed to?
No, they don't feel like it. Again,
they
like
don't.
that's the main thing, is that most of the healing is for out of combat sustain, and so a lot of people go, I would rather just have the burst 100 to 0 people. We're just not seeing that burst actually happen.
Nope. Hades and Ra banned out Freya and Ao Kuang, which means Terra is open once again.
If it's not Terra, I don't even know. Terra's been such a huge factor for Excellence in both games. Well, it was a huge factor for MCDZ. They just didn't really have a comp built around it, and also a huge factor for Excellence even remaining in the game as long as they did in game 1 here.
Well, it's not an insta-lock. We're still trying to figure out what they're going to start off with, but I really do think it should be that Terra. Once we mentioned it last game, global presence with that ultimate, the sustain is ridiculous, plus the CC that she brings to the table.
And after this Terra's locked in for MCDZ, I would really like to see a different kind of style than the Bastet in the jungle and the Arachne in the soul lane. You have double assassins, and neither of them have guaranteed lock-in CC. Right, the Arachne can CC you with after hitting multiple basics. You need more of that control in your team composition.
Definitely, and we saw that lacking, which probably we didn't really see too much coming out from them. But first pick is going to be the Erlang Shen.
Surprising there. If I'm MCDZ, I'm probably picking up Terra here. I mean, Terra's ultimate is always useful, but I understand why Excellence went for it. They've shown to be able to use it in multiple roles, and Erlang Shen is always going to be a god that's effective, very safe, also has a big CC in his ultimate that gives him the heal, and then that pin is just one of the strongest CCs in the game there on a normal cooldown.
Definitely, and I mean, Doggo, a little bit extra damage as well, but MCDZ's, if they don't pick up Terra, what would you want to see?
I really just want to see Terra.
You really just want to see Terra?
I don't understand why you would not want a Terra in your composition, especially if the other team's not going to pick it up. There's just so much long-range setup stuff, like just the ability to have those long-range setup stunts, as well as really good peel for your team, and a global ultimate that does so many things, and can also be a root as well if you play it aggressively. She's got everything.
How come we're not seeing any Guan Yu?
Guan Yu's a little bit risky. I am surprised, especially considering console really loves Guan Yu, but I guess not a lot of people valuing him as much as the Terra versus Raw anymore. MCDZ's, though, they're actually going for early game here. They've picked up the Fenrir that's put a lot of pressure in the jungle, along with a Ravana as well, a god that I think Stunwave played really, really well in game 1.
Pretty much, yeah, but he's not going to be able to use it on this one because it's up for Excellence. Ravana, still, I like the pick. But when it got to the mid-late game, they let it get to that point. He couldn't do anything.
Well, that's the thing. Like with MCDZ's, they're a weaker team, and so you really want to utilize that Ravana. And Ravana could still be useful in the late game. I don't think he really played it as good as he could have. Definitely diving a little bit too much. A little bit of red in his eyes, looking for those kills in the backline. 1v3 doesn't really work out for him. But Ravana's still great, and he gets he has fantastic matchups in almost every single solo lane 1v1 you're going to have, and he can put out pressure and invade buffs. We see teams who run through their solo lane or who have incredibly talented solo laners lean on the Ravana because you can win the game off a Ravana if you can get rolling early. We've seen people have the ability to do that.
Completely just steamroll through the opposition, but Scylla gonna get picked up for MCDZ, and Raijin and Thor locked in for excellence. And like I say every time, if you got a rat or you got a Thor, I immediately put one peg in your favor because of that global ultimate. Even if your rotations are awful, even if you're not where you're supposed to be ever, you can use that ultimate and still be of use to your team, even if you're behind.
MCDZs don't really think that's going to be a Thor in the jungle, though. So they ban away a Ratatosker and a Wheelix, surprisingly enough. Obviously, Thor has been played in support in Soul Lane before, but it's a little bit risky. It would make more sense for the Erlang Shen to go there. But, I mean, if this is Farleez on the Thor, which I kind of expect it to be, I expect him to be, looking for those setup kills onto Raijin. And it's the same thing for MCDZs. They both kind of have that same kind of style where the Fenrir is going to be looking to, bait out the Purification, Ragnarok someone, get that Scylla, I'm a monster over the top. And on the other side, it's going to be Thor dunking down straight into the Raijin, all just trying to 100 to ZO someone.
Bastet still banned out, even though MCDZ's didn't have the strongest game with her. A Wheelish and Ratatosker as well, so no retaliation coming out from any kind of global ults versus, Thor being there as well. But it's going to be a pass. Why would you pass? We see it occasionally, but...
I don't know. These bans are really weird because it's a Thor and a Fenrir locked in, and both ban junglers after that. But it is going to be a pass, so just not really sure exactly.
Yeah, but Terra is still available. Fafnir, which we saw banned out earlier, was available as well. So what would you want to see in the duo lane for either of the for
like
excellence? Since there's an Athena there now.
Jing had a pretty big impact, obviously. Welshbeastq could also go back into. I actually would like to see another Jablonka here because you have the Thor. Also, it's really hard to play against a Thor when there's a Jablonka on the other team, because the second the Thor ults, you just pop the Darkest Nights, and you have no idea. There is no counter to that, where you have no idea where Thor is in the air. You don't know if he's coming down or anything, and even the sound is very distracting to kind of disguise that Thor ultimate in the jungle. Instead, they're going to be the Chronos, more looking for the individual skill that Chronos can bring rather than that synergy between Jablonka and a Thor.
And have you ever played a game with Fafnir and Chronos that coerce on a Chronos?
Shreds.
Absolutely. We've seen a lot of good Chronos games coming out from Excellence. This is one of Welshbeast's comfortable gods as well. Jing locked in with the Athena, so there you go. Good call.
I knew it was going to be Athena. I'm actually surprised it wasn't the Jablonka. Just because it's Welshbeastq and Thor and Jablonka synergy is so good together. And I mean, obviously, Fafnir buff on Jablonka is just as good as Chronos. Like, Jablonka shreds people, especially with Branching Bolas activated. Whew, ton of damage.
But all the CC coming out from Chronos, plus he's going to be able to burst you down from an early stage of the game versus Jablonka. He's kind of a little bit limited to the mid to late game when he really gets online.
Really shines. And a lot of times he really does need those passive stacks, and if he can't find any kills, it gets a lot harder for him. But early wards coming out, one at the speed buff, one at the left side mid harpies, just trying to get vision for both teams.
And both teams have been pretty consistent with where they put those, aside from last game where MCDZ's didn't really have a very strong early ward game. Excellence go for the same spot. MCDZ's go for the same early spot.
Just you just want to get the vision, make sure no one's invading you. Obviously, Robin, Fenrir, and Thor Erlang actually all very strong in the early game, so I don't expect to see an invade coming out. We didn't see it out the earlier two games either. And remember, for you guys watching at home, whoever wins this game does advance on to face Excellence, and the winner of that match then does, excel, but then obviously they're not going to face themselves if they win, but face excel, and the winner of that heads to LAN. They head to the SEL Fall Final, so a lot riding on this game.
It is definitely an internal battle, though, right now for both of these teams, especially Excellence, because they're the top dog coming through. They have the SCL experience, and MCDZ's coming from the Challengers Cup. They took the first game, and now if they win this, they're going to be facing off against Excel.
I think it was a little bit surprising for Excellence to lose that first game. I don't think they had expected MCDZ's to come out so strong. Farleez really struggled in that first game in the jungle, but still managed to stay alive for the most part. extend the game out and give themselves a chance.
MCDZ is going to go ahead and take these right mid Harpies Excellence, putting the priority onto the fire elementals, but now that does leave the left side open if MCDZ want to go ahead and try and take that for themselves.
Actually just going to push this wave. That's going to allow them to get that those mid Harpies for free for the most part, but they're actually not being as aggressive as you'd like them to see. 50-meter fly though, whew, barely getting that Thunder Crash off. Which
is good for that Fenrir, going to be able to come down the lower side, head to those left Harpies, but Fly and Farleez not going to let that happen just yet, and Thor has a lot of CC that he can use to his advantage.
Ooh, left-hand side though, Welshbeastq getting knocked up but throwing some damage back, still on the losing end of this, and the spin to win. This could be trouble. TPC can't follow through that Thunder Crash and takes a double tap as well. Needs to be careful. He's burning through a lot of health.
Burning through a lot of mana as well. Not going to be able to keep up this aggression for too long. TPC has that speed buff, so he's going to run fast but not regen that mana.
Just a little bit of poke on both sides. Not going to be too worrisome in the end once they pick up those back Harpies.
Predators trying to get back to the safety of his tower because Stunwave doing numbers on that Robin. We saw it in that early game. I want to see him carry it through. I want to see this Robin be the big point that he's supposed to be.
I mean, Stunwave has just been destroying Predators. We talked about it, right? Predators roll swap back into the soul lane, but you know, he used to be here, he was a beast, and he is just getting manhandled by this guy. Stunwave, I mean, obviously we haven't heard too much about him, but he's looking fantastic.
Definitely. Like you mentioned, even if MCDZs aren't able to secure the spot, hold on, Farleez coming in with a spin to win and the Anvil of Dawn, forcing out the ultimate Mystic Rush. But Stunwave still going to survive.
That's the one weakness we've seen of Stunwave, is that his map awareness is not the best, and it doesn't help that he doesn't really ward too much. And I mean, there's still a lot to build off for this guy in the future, no matter what happens again here. We know he has the individual skills. He's proven it against Predators, found, you know, 2 solo kills, almost a third a little bit ago. And I mean, if he can just increase his map awareness, this guy's going to be great.
Still a very big team to contend with, even if it's the next challenger scene, if they're not able to continue on and face Excel and then maybe even make it to the fall finals. But like you mentioned, Stunwave, very strong presence, even though Predators kind of having the run of the mill with him right now.
And that's just the pressure that Thor is able to put. Like, I love the gank from Farleez. It doesn't even matter if it wasn't successful, because it's allowed Predators to have a lot more leeway into this lane, put the pressure on Stunwave, and not have to back early and teleport in, which you know, you really don't want to have to do in the first couple minutes before you can finish boots.
So we've seen Farleez gank, but how come we're not seeing any pressure coming out from TPC?
I mean, you really need to bait out relics when you're a Fenrir. You have to go aggressive and look for the stun so you can set up that I'm a monster kill later on, and I guess TPC just wanted to play it slow.
One more hit, Stunwave will be gone. Predators able to find it with the help of the wall and the minions. Farleez just throwing that down. Tectonic Rift just to help out.
The BM, man, just kill him with the minions. TPC trying to defend this blue buff. He is here, but down a level right now to Farleez, and Predators going straight for the blue. The Scylla sticking to mid, not rotating in.
Yeah, but here comes Athena with the ultimate as well. Channeled onto TPC, gonna miss out on that damage potential, but the taunt, the jump, Farleez into the air with the Anvil of Dawn, able to escape that damage.
I'm just really surprised we didn't see them go onto Predators, considering Predators only has boots right now, also has the teleport, so no purification. Easily could have Ragnaroked them there, dropped them under tower. We saw Stunwave TP in as well at the same time, and that would have been a kill if they just went on Predators, but just getting greedy there, trying to shut down the enemy jungler so he has less of an impact.
And talk about the wasted time too from MCDZ on that right side. They weren't able to get anything out of it, but now Mr. Turtle gonna get pulled into the I'm a Monster, but pops the ultimate, so he misses out on the damage.
Oh, Turtle still jumping away, just barely staying alive, but that was just unfortunate. You saw TPC pick up Turtle, then kind of moving around in the math just as Mayo was trying to hit the Sikkim, and then Mayo kind of hesitated on finding the ultimate because TPC was moving around too much, and by the time he did it, it just had ended and Turtle was able to get his ult, get that immunity barely in time.
Just a bit unfortunate for MCDZ. They had a really good setup, but the execution left a little bit to be desired.
Ooh, Thor hanging around this right-hand side. You could see Stunwave, though, aware of it this time. He had it called out by Gibbon, and Stunwave really needs to be careful. You could see his health and mana incredibly low. He's got to back up to base.
Let's go ahead and throw down a ward instead for Farleez, and then head right back into the mid lane. Gibbon, however, going to face a double tap to the face, but tanky Athena isn't worried about it too much.
Not at all. Not in these early games. Predator's going to have to back as well, and you can see lead starting to develop ever so slightly, though. Predators, with that first blood, does have about a 600 gold lead over Stunwave, and in the jungle it's about 200 as well. Overall, giving them at about a 1100 gold lead.
I normally say that there's not too much kill potential on this Raven early on because it's really hard to go toe-to-toe with this Raven. But this Erlang, Predators, been doing a very good job of it, and we're not seeing that pressure coming out from TPC to try and punish Predators for it.
Yeah, that's the main issue, is TPC has been a non-factor in this game. He's just kind of been roaming around the map, farming up. He hasn't really been focused on setting up any kills. Can we actually see wards again? Because, I mean, look at this. I mean, littered around the map are wards all over for Excellence. And again, like MCDZ just don't have a lot. They have 2 players that haven't bought a single one. They also have a Chronos. The only people who have built it for them are their jungler, really, with those 2 wards coming out from him, and it's just none on the right-hand side.
Predators back in lane, using that turtle to get away, but the Mystic Rush to try and close the distance. Gibbon not going to be able to find the taunt.
Just needed to ult a little bit earlier there to make sure the Athena was going to land down with him. Instead, that animation didn't complete, and the Athena ulted down on the point of his jump and not landing. Unfortunate there. Just a little bit of timing issues coming out from MCDZ.
Double hammer time coming out from Excellence. Double tap going to connect, but the Fafnir hammer is not. TPC going to take a little bit of damage, but be able to back off. Meanwhile, Excellence taking their own objectives and now trying to take Stunwave in the process.
And Stunwave, no mana once again. He had his blue buff stolen last time, and because of his current health, he's not really going to be able to do anything.
Taunt.
And it's the setup kill here. Great gank from Farleez again.
Farleez ripping through, able to come down, help with just the taunt into the stun. It was the max distance for both of those abilities, but still able to lock it down. Excellence taking down the right mid Harpies and now getting a little bit aggressive onto the enemy jungle.
And look at this, all 4 members rotating in. I mean, TPC is not going to be able to do anything here. He's going on to Predators, and he's just dead inside his inside his own Brutalize there. Very unfortunate. The Scylla couldn't rotate in time, and just trying to defend his own buff pays for it.
Take a little bit of damage from that tower, stepping right over that line and then getting rooted in place by the Scylla, but Turtle going to be just fine. He's a tanky Fafnir. Predators, however, taking a little bit of damage, even though he's got the level lead on Storm.
And now it's going to be really hard for Stunwave to do anything. Once Predators goes back and buys his item, he's definitely sitting on a little bit of gold there, so he's going to be able to finish up that Witchblade. And that's really going to hurt Stunwave's ability to fight into him for the rest of this game. And I mean, this game has just all been Farleez. He set up multiple 3 now ganks onto the right-hand side. 2 have been successful, and the first one was literally just used to relieve pressure because Stunwave almost found that 1v1 kill onto Erlang's Shen. And after that, it's just been Predators have been able to really take control of this lane and set the tone.
8 minutes and 40 seconds in, 3-0. Excellence having another strong start, looking at about 2,500 experience and a little over 2,000 gold in favor of Excellence. And now Farleez channeled the ultimate, getting up into the air to avoid getting pinched from all these members of MCDZ.
Oh, he's just going to wait there. TPC's ult ends, he's stunned, and he's going to be stunned again. The DR doesn't even matter. Eliminated with 50-meter Fly's ultimate. The Coerce comes out onto the entire team, and now Excellence is chasing, but the wall, brutal for Farleez, actually keeps his own team away from following up on that engagement.
Rip the dream. You know they're laughing about that, but it's okay. They didn't lose anything. They still get that kill onto TPC, so it's still worth.
And they want to use this dragon right now. They don't want the dragon form to end on Turtle. They want to get that another AoE. Oh, that's unfortunate for them. They start with the Gold Fury, but really they're just baiting for kills.
Oh.
Gibbon just kind of walks in there, not expecting, I think, the damage that they were able to put out, and it's just zone duty for Predators.
A huge chunk of that was Welshbeastq, but then Farleez comes in, finds that last hit. Gold Fury falling very fast, already at a quarter health. It's going to go for Excellence.
This is kind of the game I had expected coming into this one. You know, Excellence, they make a couple roster moves to get, you know, what they believe is a stronger roster. MCDZ is kind of this Challenger Cup team with little to no competitive experience, and I thought it was just going to be kind of a roll, but you know, this is Excellence now, I think, starting to get everything together, starting to play better. They're up 5-0 right now, unanswered kills, as well as that Gold Fury, giving them about a 4K lead.
That hurt. CRYSIS hurting with those gusts. Welshbeastq knocked up, taking about a quarter of his health just with the knock-up by itself. No follow-up.
Gust is OP, that's why.
Well, definitely. We're seeing exactly why. Excellence hunkering down, getting down their own speed buff, their own blue buff as soon as it comes up as well. MCDZ Seeing these rotations onto these experience camps, but Turtle's still going to try to be a thorn in their side.
Just throw out the nice stun, make sure that TPC is never in a comfortable spot, and look at this. The invades coming out once again. TPC has no idea.
Nope, and Farleez going to turn around this corner, look for the wall, able to find the rip, the double tap ripping through as well. Mayo looking very low with the help of the Taiko drums.
Oh.
Farleez going to crash right on down to Mayo and Fly. Takes out the wolf. TPC down.
2 free kills. We see the rotation come out from CRYSIS, but I mean, he's not going to be able to do anything in here. The blue buff going to get stolen away as well. Stun wave walled off, has the Athena ult just to make sure he's going to get out of here. And he's debating going aggressive, but then he backs off immediately. Excellent, still looking for more kills.
Nice taunt into the tower, take a little bit of damage, but Predator's mainly soaking that up for himself. Gibbon gonna fall, and the dragon comes through. Storm stun wave, however, gonna get separated off, and then jumped right on again.
Still alive, but not for long. Left-hand side, too, we just see the pressure being put out from Welshbeastq there, making sure that CRYSIS misses a lot of experience, and it's going to be the tier 1 tower on right after that team fight as Welsh. Goes aggressive, looking for the 1v1, but can't find the shots right now.
Not quite, but there's the CC, and then the just massive chunking damage, but doesn't want to follow up just yet. He's made his point, he's being a bully, and that's going to be a little bit of experience loss.
Oh, TPC jumped. Oh, no, TPC.
Oh, rip the dream.
Has ult, but too late on using it there, and now it's going to be a mid-tier 1 as well. I mean, this is just excellence dominating. They've almost got to kill a minute 10 and just 12. Great stuns as well. Mayo taking his entire life bar basically off of one Raijin, and the thunder crash from Fly purifies away, making sure he won't get picked up in return, but Farleez doesn't care. He's going in.
50-meter Fly, absolutely chunking. Farleez making these ballsy plays, but still not getting punished for it. 11 kills. And 11-0.
And Welshbeastq as well, able to put pressure on the left tower in the meantime. I mean, this is just an absurd performance from Excellence after really rough game 1, a little bit better in game 2, and now it's just been, I mean, this game is Farleez's game. I mean, yeah, 50-meter Fly had a big kill there, but that's just because he's been so far ahead. And this all comes down to the pressure in the right-hand side. Almost a 1v1. Stun wave, I mean, he's manhandling Predators in that matchup. We saw him get 2 solo kills in game 2 as well. But the issue is he doesn't ward a lot. The map awareness a little bit weak. He's overextended, then gets picked off 2 times in a row, and that's really allowed Predators to start gaining momentum in the soul lane. That's when we started to see the invades come out, and then TPC getting picked off on both invades a couple times, and it's just kind of snowballed out of control from there.
Taking a look at the graphs, we're 13 minutes and 15 seconds in, 9,000 experience and almost 7,000 gold at 13 minutes. This has been Excellence's game completely thus far. MCDZ can't even react.
They're going to have to soon, though. Gold Fury not respawning for a bit, but still presence on the left-hand side there. And I mean, Predator's going to win this 1v1 every time.
He
does get his
difference.
taunt off, I think. No, he didn't. There it is. And TPC needs to be careful. The heal will come through for Predators, but here's Farleez to clean up.
Farleez picking his target there, gonna get channeled by that Athena ultimate. So instead he's gonna come right back down to the safety. They're gonna let Predators do his own thing, probably sacrifice him in the process.
No.
Crush gonna come through. Taiko Drum's gonna lock him in place with the wall as well. The Sanctuary's gonna be good, but as soon as it's gone, Fly crashes in, takes Scylla down.
That's so unfortunate there. I mean, Predators way overextends, but a great response and reaction from his team there. Farleez takes to the sky. Actually, is this going to be a kill? Oh, no, just off the mark there. But
so close.
But I mean, just great ultimate from Fly, taunting people away. Then the wall from the Thor as well to lock in Mayo, and so he wasn't going to be able to get away. Another pick, another set of stolen buffs, and Excellence are just rolling.
The Taiko drums into that wall is probably my favorite play that we've seen throughout this entire set thus far. We're on the last game. Whoever wins this is going to face off with Excel, and then whoever wins that going to be going to the fall finals.
And just look at this. Farleez putting out pressure onto CRYSIS. Doesn't really kill about return damage. It's going to allow not only this tier 1 on the left-hand side, but a Gold Fury is going on in the meantime. TPC going to smell this out, and he does have a chance to steal this. They're not burning it as quickly as they would like.
As this game progresses, we're seeing Excellence get more and more comfortable. Not in a bad way, getting more comfortable with the synergy, with this roster, and they're making these plays happen. We're not going to see any kind of steal or even steal potential coming out from MCDZ. They're going to back off. They want to let this just go.
And now it's trouble. Oh, Mayo just caught out there. Can't even get to his Sentinel. Stunned to death. Farleez lands down as well. TPC eats his 5th death of the game, and Gibbon is close up next.
Gibbon is stuck in this experience camp. He's not going to be able to get out unless they
gust.
can't DPS him in time, but
Just kidding.
Farleez still going to be able to find it with the in-hand.
Not a single kill dropped right now, 15-0. Again, that kill a minute mark has just been insane, and MCDZ just haven't been working as a unit. TPC, you know, he had great presence in the first 2 games, but this game we only see him when he's getting invaded. He's just, you know, been focusing on himself and hasn't relieved any of the pressure that Farleez has put out onto his side lanes.
I mean, to be fair, we're only seeing any of these people right now when they're getting invaded on, and that's going to be the surrender. 15 minutes and 51 seconds. Excellence are going to be facing off against Excel for the spot at the fall finals.
I think that was a really good set for Excellence to have. I would like to assume that they felt overconfident, honestly, heading into this one. You know, MCDZ's someone we've never really heard of, and it's like, oh wow, this guy's stun wave's really good. Oh wow, we're getting picked off. Oh wow, they're out picking us completely. You know, get into that really long game 1. Game 2 goes a lot, you know, their way a little bit better, but you know, still MCDZ's making some plays, and then that game they're like, okay, we figured this out, and it was just a stark difference from game 1 to game 3. Obviously, that 55-minute bloodbath where it was back and forth, and that one where it's just like a one-sided stomp across the map.
It was good, better, best. Just a nice progression of each game coming through. Like I mentioned in the mid-game, you start to see them getting more comfortable with seeing the communication, and we're seeing these plays. I really like what I saw from Farleez. Farleez moving from the ADC role into the jungle, doing a fantastic job.
And Predators was getting outplayed in the solo lane. I mean, Stunwave clearly mechanically, when it came to those matchups, was doing a better job. But Farleez able to just rotate over there and make sure that Predators was going to be okay, and kind of abusing the playstyle that Stunwave has.
That was my second favorite play coming through, because both of those abilities were at that max range. But Farleez once again using this ultimate not only to see where people are going, but also to regress. We see it being used multiple ways.
Honestly, shoutouts to MCDZ for how well they played this set overall. I mean, despite the last game, the first 2, they definitely showed a lot of promise individually. There's some stuff they got to work on, but they're going to be a team that, you know, could make it into the EUSCL next year. You never know.
You mentioned it in the first or second game that even if they don't make it through here, they're definitely going to be a team to keep your eye on and watch for when it comes to the amateur scene and then the Challengers Cup.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. That very insightful. Thank you so much. So we saw MCDZ get knocked out. Excellence are going to face off against Excel. Good luck, casters, casting that. And then from there, whoever wins that best of 3 will take the Gauntlet spot and then go to fall finals.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for that insight. You were being so helpful.
No, I am excited for this Excellence versus Excel matchup there. Just because we saw Excellence just get better and better and better and better, and I think it's going to be a really good match now that they've got that experience.
And we've seen these guys fight off before because both of them are part of the SCL. Excellence, they faced off 3 times. It's been 2 splits and a 2-0 in favor of Excellence. So we're going to have to see just how that goes. We're going to go ahead and pass it on over the next game. Excellence and Excel for the spot at the fall finals coming at you here in just a second. Stay tuned.